Hey, welcome back to Old Iron Acres. Today is just a messy day. It is wet, it rained all night, everything is muddy, soggy, nasty, and it's got a heavy mist going on. And I want to show you my next big project. So, I just parked the gator in the barn there. A few years ago, we cleaned that out. It took a 40-yard dumpster stacked way over heaping to get all the garbage from the previous property owner out of there. There were magazines from the 1930s, popular photography and all kinds of other ones. They were in poor shape because of the water that had gotten in and the cold weathers and staying up there for years. Unfortunately, when I looked online, they were worthless. So I let them all go. But we want to renovate and fix up this old barn right over here. I'm excited to do it, but we are on a extreme budget, like zero budget. I'm just trying to do as much as I can, as smart as I can. So this barn is actually important here because this is where all the electricity comes in and feeds the rest of the property. Everything comes out of there, up this pole, and then spreads everywhere else. That's because inside this barn is one of the coolest things. This was the generator building. And back in the day, this was a generator that would power a turbine, create electricity to power an entire 300-acre dairy cattle farm. And this is what would power it. This old Caterpillar engine. They'd fire it up with this pony motor, and then it would spin the generator, and then these old sockets, they would open these electric panels up, and they'd pull these little Red Bull can fuses out, and then they would just manually switch them from place to place where they wanted to put the power to. Crazy. It tells you how old all of this is. This is an old Pabst Blue Ribbon with an old pull top. That Pabst Blue Ribbon can was probably put there by the last guy that opened up that panel and died. So the first thing is, when working on buildings down here, is the need of electricity just for tools and odds and ends, batteries, you name it. So I had an electrician in to look at this building, and then he came over and took a look at this building to see how far off we were to be safe down here. So I've cleared it out just enough to get the gator in the rain, and we are just lucky enough to have a light switch that works. And we got a couple of corncob bulbs up there. Now I'm gonna go to the other side and flip a few more switches. And that gets us some decent light down here. And I think this is just so cool. They have this old chain hoist going from side to side. That's got a span 25, 30 feet and be about 40, 50 feet long. I love these old windows, but they're all cracked, the glass. So some of the projects are gonna be fixing up the glazing here, using glazing caulk, getting new windows in, seeing if we can repair them. At some point, I'm gonna have to rebuild the stair, but that is gonna be kind of a crazy project. And that's a toilet that hasn't been used in 40 years. There is a lot going on down here. So some of the other things going on are that we need to replace this garage door. It no longer goes up and down. It's just so heavy, it's old, doesn't work. Got to find out a solution for that. It would be priceless to be able to close things up and keep them dry and safe down here. And then the question is how do I fix and replace all of these doors? This, by the way, is the panel system for the electricity. They had plugs going everywhere of all different voltages, and a lot of them are on ceramic bottle cap fuses. So I'd love someday to come in here and fix all this up. Right now, this is just some tool storage. This is so much cleaner than it used to be. I haven't had electricity down here for 2 years, but now the electrician came and put in new plugs for me that are safe. Now I can run some equipment down here. I think this is a cool space. We've got a few windows and such to fix, such as these panes where birds are getting in. I believe they're mud hens. And the mud hens come and make little nests up here in the rafters and seal some doors to keep some mice out. Don't think right now too many raccoons can get in, but boy, do the raccoons surprise me. They seem like they can get into anything. Future plans, maybe putting in a wood stove down here, maybe turn this into an office, maybe turn it into a wood shop. I got options, but I definitely think it's worth saving. So one of the first steps that doesn't cost a lot of money that I'm gonna try to take on is I've been whittling away slowly, just doing what I can a few hours at a time, cutting down trees. The front yard here was completely overgrown. It looked like 10 feet tall of bushes and hedges. And we've been hacking at it and burning it as we go. Got to replace those doors too. It's just a slow process, ripping out all these trees. Part of the problem is what I call wire or stick. And what that is this is the kind of garbage that I find everywhere on the property. There's an air conditioner, there's a car door, car hood, I think. There's a toilet. There is some barbecue grating. There is a water heater or an air compressor. Nah, that's a water heater. There is some metal tubing, some type of canister. I think I see an old bicycle, a very old bicycle. I think I see two bicycles. Old tires. We've got hubcaps and rims. We've got radiators. We have barbed wire going through here. There must have been an old fence here because we've got a hinge on that post. This is just a beautiful old barn. And if I'm successful in cutting all of this back and able to save it, how cool would this thing be? It's, I think, around 4,000 square feet with an upstairs and a downstairs. So these would be the windows to the back office over here, and there could be a door over here. And I almost see this like it could become a patio, like put a bunch of rock out here, but there is still all kinds of garbage in the tree brush and weeds. So you can see they would store their drainage tile and a barbecue hood for some reason. And then I have no idea, this looks like an old mower deck and some type of grating for who knows what, 3-inch heavy-duty wire. Grown up in a tree, so I doubt I'm gonna get that out without burning it out. Of course, every one of these bushes and trees that I wanna cut have incredibly sharp barbs and hooks and thorns that wanna kill me as I try to take them out, so it's a battle and a war. There are bricks of all types, hoses, buckets, concrete blocks, electric wire, cable. Can you see the cable hidden in the ground right here? There's aluminum roofing down here. This is an entire coil of metal of some type, no idea what. Bricks in the background there. And this morning my project was to find this back door. So I successfully cut a little path here, and here is a small pile after an hour of cutting. So this is the beginning of cutting, and I'm gonna go each direction, cutting more and more and more until I find the ground and pick up all the garbage, like whatever that is. I'm imagining these are just like oil drums that they would just throw in the woods when they were done with them. There's a shed in the back here. I've never been in it, no idea what it's for. Imagining some type of cow or goats, more metal back. So I did have somebody in to look at the roof, and we did do a little bit of repair on that a couple years ago. That was probably one of the smartest things I did. And then I have been back here cutting some of the trees. I had a goal 2 years ago of just trying to be able to get around it with the tractor, but I was 90% successful. Couldn't quite get around, but I hope this year I've learned a lot more tricks, hope to be able to get around. Definitely need to do some tuck pointing on the CMU. and need to get these vines off. They are nasty and destructive. I think we can do all that. More scrap metal and garbage in the woods. So continuing to go around, my goal here over the next couple weeks is to cut and tear. I want every tree down around the buildings, mostly so they don't grow up like this and rip the roof off. Then we'll take the next step and see where it goes. Again, there's trash and garbage just sitting everywhere. So it's a challenge to get through the thicket. You can see over here, maybe this will be next if I'm successful, is there's an old pig barn over there. You've seen the inside of it before. It's a fun building, but all these trees that are probably 60 feet tall have grown there in the pigsties. So that's how long since there have been animals in them. I will say that the electric company came and helped me out. They did cut a small band there going from electric pole to electric pole, and kind of gave me a starting path, but of course they leave all the stumps. So what would you do with a building like this? How would you attack this? I know it's gonna be long and slow, but I thought I'd just kind of show you what you have here. And in the winter, it always looks so much better, because in the summer, boom, the green blows up, everything gets leaves and you can't see what's happening. It is a lot easier in the winter to try to handle some of this stuff. And as a giveaway, if anyone hits the like button on this video, they'll be in contention to win a kitchen sink. Well, I think this is gonna be my entrance door. So I need to cut all the trees around the buildings here. And then I am going to work on the garage door and this side door. If I can get those two doors, then I think I'll have the building at least somewhat sealed from animals. I also have a project where next to the pig barn right over here, just off of the corner, I want to put in a water hydrant. I know that the water line goes to approximately here. Bing! There is an older hydrant you can see up by the building, but that's been disconnected and no longer works. So I figure if I can get water down here, I can do other projects. I might try pressure washing the inside of the building just to get the years and years of scum off, and then work on windows, doors, things like that. This is gonna be the fun shop. Who knows, I'll have to come up with a fun name for what we call it. Well, I appreciate you watching and learning a little bit about what's coming up here. It's just that kind of a rainy day. I'm gonna go cut a few more sticks. And this is what some of the videos are gonna be focused on, as this is a part of renovating our property. This, working out in the yard, working in the fields, working with the trees, working with the animals, working with the kids and the family. But for right now, a lot of the things we're really gonna try to focus on making this a functioning space to help move everything forward. Hey, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on a lot more of these videos. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Anyway,